Greetings, my Israelite brothers and sisters, heirs, joint heirs, adopted, grafted, natural, spiritual. However you may come, we just want to say hello to you. I hope my glass is clean here. Let me just make sure. Okay, that's a lot better. Okay, so I want to give you a Zoom platform update. It's the purpose of this car cam. I'll give you an update as to what's happening. First of all, let me thank all of our Patreon subscribers, all those that go into Patreon and that have been doing your monthly donations. You have made the platform work, and also the enhancements that I'm going to talk about. Uh, it's because of you that we're able to do I'm getting ready to announce that we are already in the position to do. So I want to thank all of you all that do that. Patreon is an account, web-based, where we have an account on there, and it's under Pastor Johnson, one word, PastorJohnson, where you can give a monthly donation, whether it's $2, $5, $10, or $20, whatever you think that you're able to do, that helps out. So you go in, it's a secured account. It's you can check it out, all of the securities that they have, the very secure and all like that. You all know how that works. But basically, when you're making a pledge, again, it comes out of your debit card or your credit card every month. Most people go on there and they've been successful in using their debit card. It just comes out every month. Some people do $10 a month, some people do $20 a month, but there is no amount too small. There's no amount too great. It's just whatever the Almighty puts upon your heart to do. That being said, we brought you the Zoom platform. Now what we're getting ready to do is the 800 line is there. I've been working with the 800 company just to see for them to set up things that we can do what we need to do to make it a success. So there's some testing that I'm going to do this week. So just to make sure that everything's okay. So they're going to be working with me on that as well to get that up and off the ground. We just got the number. I think it was last week, Thursday. But because of the Great Gathering Hebrew Conference, I have not been able to do anything with it until yesterday. So yesterday, we've been on the phone with that company, that platform, to get it done. And it looks like they have been very helpful. I like them because their technical support is phenomenal. It's 24 hours, and somebody always answers the phone, and they actually will walk you through what you're trying to do. And in all of the cases that I had to deal with them, they did it for me while I was online with them. So this is what I like. So that being said, what we're going to be doing is we're going to probably come a little bit more often. We want to not only bring you Friday night Bible study every Friday night, but we're also going to bring something in where we do testimony services. Now, let me say why testimonies are important. Because it's through the testimonies of the saints, as the scripture says. It's through the testimonies of the saints is where we get encouraged. It's because of people sharing their story that encourages us. It's what lets us get off what we have to do. Rodney says this is off topic, and it may seem elementary. My 10th wedding anniversary is 4/6 on the Sabbath. Would it be a break of the Shabbat to celebrate sunset? Uh, my 10th wedding anniversary is 4/6. That's this coming weekend on the Sabbath. Would it be a break of the Sabbath to celebrate sunset? You talking about Saturday night? Sunset Saturday, the Sabbath is over. So I think if that's what you're asking me, um, just so that you know. I mean to say before Saturday night. Um, well, if that's your anniversary, I think that the Sabbath is the Sabbath. I the scriptures is what it is. It's the Sabbath. So I think that you may be stuck going out on Saturday night to celebrate your anniversary. Now, I've actually traveled and I've gone someplace on an anniversary that has maybe covered the weekend. And what I normally do is when I'm out of town and I'm on vacation and it encompasses the weekend, I just try to be aware that it is the Sabbath, and I try to be careful as to what and how much I do. That's what I do personally when it comes to the Sabbath, and I'm out. For instance, sometimes I would go to Orlando, and what my wife and I do is that we will kind of linger in the hotel and stuff like that. We put in our orders ahead of time. Like our breakfast, we get it. And what's also good when you're doing room service, it goes on your bill, so you're not really paying for it until the end. So that's something that you can just take into consideration when you're out and you're traveling, and it encompasses the weekend. Sometimes people take cruises, and they'll tell you your cruise is from Wednesday to Sunday morning. So that's all. Uh, Thank you. He says that answered his question. Okay, so now um, we're going to start having. Thank you, Rodney. I'm glad I was able to help you with that. How you doing, Biblical T? How you doing? Who else is here? Miss B. How are you, Miss B? Okay, great. So Ricky Brown. Uh, so what we're going to be doing is the Friday. We're going to be having testimony service. Testimony service is where we come on to Zoom, and we'll do call-in. Some people, you don't have to give your name when you do your testimony. It's just to give people, whether you encouragement, whether you have a healing that's taken place, whether it's a victory report that's taken place, whether you just want prayer. That's what we're going to be doing with this platform when people call in. And let me tell you why that's important. Because when you hear other people and how they have overcome something, and you're going through something similar, we all don't go through the same thing, but we go through things that are similar in nature. You'll be surprised how much it will help another person that's going through as well. For instance, a young man called me up yesterday morning, and he's on the road. He's always on the road. He drives trucks, and he didn't really want to be away out of the state. He wanted to be local, but with one job, something happened, so he was forced to take another job where he, as a driver, he drives the big trucks. He had to be out traveling. And I had called him up and told him that he needed to be at the conference. I said, you need to be at this Great Gathering Hebrew conference that would do you well. He says, Pastor, I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm out, with this company. I'm out driving, and there's no way I can really get there. And I says, man, let me tell you, all I can tell you is that you need to be here. You got these guys who are meeting for the first time, although they do know each other, but they're in the same room at the same time. The panel discussion, you don't want to miss it. So I really pumped it up for him to be there, because I thought personally it would be very good for him. Well, it was so compelling, and it was so urgent upon him to be there. Somehow he made a way. and they got there. And when he came there on Thursday, he was looking through something. I can't remember how the story went, but he saw a job that was local, and it was a type of job that he really would have wanted, doing the same thing. He put in for it, and on Monday, Friday he did a what did he do? Friday he did I think a drug test background. On Monday, it normally takes about 2 weeks for these things to come back. His report came back on Monday. Within 2 business days, everything came back. He went there on Monday. He got hired, and he started yesterday. And he has the Sabbath off. He has the Sabbath off, and he told them up front, hey, I need the Sabbath off. And he told me he did that because he was already working a job that he had to travel. And his prior job to that, he was always struggling to get the Sabbath off. And so since he had a job, he felt comfortable by saying, listen, I'll take this job. I really want this job, but I need to have my Sabbaths off. And they said, okay, no problem. And he's mad. So it's stuff like that that you need to hear, what I call these praise reports that will help other people that's going through. And so that's what this platform is going to be for. It would really help individuals. So it's another way of us communicating Hebrews in the community, staying together, hearing each other's testimonies, just natural, spiritual, grafted, everybody. Let's just hear your report. Let's hear what the Almighty has done for you, whether it's a sickness you're going through, whether it's a family situation that you're going through, a situation on your job, a situation with unsaved family members, financial, whatever storms that may come. We need to hear how you as an individual made it through and what you're going through, and the fact that you're standing still and you're letting the Almighty's salvation just move. So, when Moses and the children of Israel were in trouble, the angel of the Lord said, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. So that's what this platform is going to be doing. So again, if you choose, we're going to always be checking the chat room. But if you choose to come on air, online, stream live, you don't have to give your name. You don't have to give anything. You can just say, hi, how you doing? I'm a subscriber. I'm a follower. I'm a sister, or I'm a brother, and this is what's been going on in my life, and I want to give this report. And that's all. If you choose to give your name, you can, or you can use the name that you have on YouTube. It's up to you and what you want to do. And so that's what we're going to do. It's going to be really helpful. Of course, when we do Bible study, you'll be able to call in. Sometimes it's difficult to read the chat room because you're typing and you don't get your full question out. And if there's a follow-up question to your question, it causes a delay. So this will be very quick, and we can get your question in. And when you come online, you don't have to say your name. You can just say, hey, my question is the following. Boom. And we'll get to it, and then, you can hang up and we can deal with your question. So I'm loving this. It's going to be great. It's going to take the channel and the platform to a different level. And it's going to bring the service of what you need to a different level as well. Because I think people really need to know and understand, but you need to be in a position where you can ask questions, ask a follow-up question, and really get a scriptorial response. That's what that's about. Now, I'm not one that is going to be that tells you that I'm going to give you an answer for everything. If I don't know, I simply don't know. I would tell you and say, listen, I'm going to get the scriptures together and give that back to you the following week. And that's what we'll do. Or I may say, give me your email. I'm going to get the answer and I'm going to get it back to you. J. Rob, how you doing, my brother? My goodness, we haven't seen you on here in a while. Good to hear from you. Veronica, how are you? She says, I'm looking forward to the chat room and the testimony. Rodney says, and they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of the testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Absolutely. It's the testimonies that we do this. Drama Queen, how are you? So yes, we're also going to do prayer. We're going to do prayer lines as well. We're going to have a particular time that we do prayer. So we will call in, we will get people's requests and what's going on and stuff like that. And let me tell you, some situations we might have to say, you know what, all of you all that can fast the next day, and sometimes fast, the way I do a fast, if it's such a short notice, I may say, listen, we're asking everybody, let's say it's at nighttime, and we're going to say, listen, this sister we just prayed for, this brother we just prayed for, this family we just prayed for. What we're asking everybody to do is not eat until 12 o'clock. Don't eat breakfast. When you go to bed tonight, don't eat anymore. Don't eat until 12 o'clock, or don't eat until 3 o'clock, because some things require fasting and prayer. And let me tell you, it may not be a long fast, but let me tell you, when you can get everybody on the same page to do something very quickly, sometimes those fasts are very effective. When you're having a prayer at 9 p.m. the night before, and you say, listen, I want everybody to look at this brother or this sister or this family situation. Let's as many that can, let's keep them in prayer and fast until noon. This is how things have to happen, because I am a firm believer. I am a firm believer of prayer, and I'm a firm believer of fasting. You all have not seen that side of me, but I believe in fasting and prayer. I believe that the scripture says, I believe the scriptures, number one. And the scripture says that the prayers of the righteous availeth much. And I believe that if we are doing the best that we can, to the best of our knowledge and our understanding, the Almighty puts a hedge around us. And when he puts a hedge around us, the adversary has to have permission even to give you the flu. He has to get permission. And I believe that. That's what I believe. I believe the Almighty puts a hedge around you, a hedge of protection, just like he did with Job. And Job was a righteous man that eschewed evil, and Satan had to get permission from the Most High God to even deal with him in that way. So somebody says, Pastor, a big up from London. Oh my gosh, London. So London, you're going to love this, London. You'll be able to call in from that 1-800 number. You'll be able to call in, and you'll be able to call in, and we'll be able to get calls from you. So that number, when we post, now look for us, subscribe to this channel so that you can see when we're coming on to do Bible studies all the way from London. You'll be able to hear us. We'll be able to pray for you and all like that. And let me just give you our email since you're on right now. It's BethelHouseOfGod@gmail. That's our email. BethelHouseOfGod@gmail. If you shoot me an email and tell me that you're from London and that you were here on this live chat, what I would do is I will send you an email notification when Bible study starts. So all of you all that are here, if you send me an email and say, Pastor, please put my email as a part of the notifications to let me know that Bible study is starting. Okay? And you need to get, you can watch it online on the channel, or you can do it on Zoom. So whenever you get that email from me, if you download the Zoom application, you can watch it on Zoom, or you can simply watch it on YouTube, because we'll be streaming live from Zoom onto YouTube. And you can also, we'll be giving out that 1-800 number all throughout Bible study. Okay, be doing that all throughout Bible study. So if you have a question, you can always call in and give us your question and what have you. And also, I'm going to be using that same email list for when we do anything dealing on a Zoom platform, whether we're having prayer call-ins or Bible study call-ins or testimony call-ins. So if I already have your email address and you're already getting those notifications, you're good. But if you want to be added to that list, just let me know and we'll add you to that list. And what that list is, a short time ahead of time, you'll get a notification that we're getting ready to go on, so you'll be able to at least tune in to YouTube. Again, you don't have to go on Zoom. You can just get that email notification and you can just simply wait. And if you already have the bell, then you'll say, oh, okay, I got an email and I got the bell. They're getting ready to come on live. So that's what we'll be able to do for you. Also, we're going to be having different guest panelists. Different guests are going to be on our show. Dr. Amwa is going to come back on the show. Ron Shields is going to come back on the show. Ron Dalton's going to come back on the show. Benaya Israel's going to come back on the show. We're also going to reach out to Her Royal Roots. We're going to reach out to her, and when we do something for the ladies, we're going to have some panelists on the show, just talking about things that's going to be for women and mothers that are Israel. So we're going to be doing that as well. So there's going to be a lot going on the channel where we'll be able to talk to people. Biblical Tea, she's starting a platform, so we're going to have her on there talking about things with other ladies, talking about, things just for ladies. Because let me just say this, the scripture says a woman looketh well after her household, and a man is known in his gates by its woman. So we want the Hebrew woman to really be the core foundation of the family. We know the man is the head of the household, but it's the Hebrew woman. It's the woman. It's the righteous woman that really puts everything together. So we're going to be talking about things like that and have guest panelists on the show to talk and discuss those things. We're also going to have something dealing with youth. We're going to have some young people on there, and we're going to be talking to them about their experiences in coming into the truth. What is it like to be in school and you don't celebrate the pagan holidays? What is it like? And so we're going to be having these platforms. And again, the purpose of the 800 line, when we do these shows and platforms, you'll be able to call in and ask these people questions and some of the things that they're going through. So this is just going to open up the door to a whole wide spectrum of things. So I want to thank all of you all that have become a part of the subscribers on this channel. Please share the channel. When we start to do this other stuff, I know you're going to want to share it. And also, if you find it in your heart to do, go to Patreon, that's Patreon, and become a monthly Patreon. whatever the Almighty places upon your heart to do on a monthly level. Do it where it's something that does not disrupt your finances, whether it's $5, whether it's $50. Some of us are doing real good where you might say, you know what, I'm just going to do $100 a month and let it come out of my account. Whatever. It could be as little as $2. Trust me, it goes a long way. So thank you so much for what you have done in Patreon. When you go to Patreon, just look for me on the one word, Pastor Johnson. And again, because of our Patreon supporters, we have the Zoom now, and now we've got the 1-800 number. So thank you all so much for that. Now, the way to 1-800 number is 1-833-4-BETHEL. 1-833, the number 4, and just touchstone in the word Bethel, Bethel. And you can go on there. You can leave messages. We're setting it up now. I think right now, if you wanted to get to me, if I'm available, you can hit I think it's the number 1 tone. I got to go back and listen to it. But they are setting that up now. We're going to be having other technical support calls today as we continue to lay out the voice prompts. So that's what we're doing now. They had to map it out for me. They asked me yesterday, they interviewed me, what is it that you want this number to go to, all your different extensions, where do you want them to go, and stuff like that. So for instance, Bible study will have a prompt where when you're at Bible study and when we're online live and you want to participate in the Bible study, you'll hear a prompt. It'll tell you where to go at. And so you'll be waiting in a pool. So the phone may just ring, because I'm on a call answering the other caller. But you'll get used to it. You'll get used to it and stuff like that. So that's what we're doing. That's what we got going. And I'm excited about it. I'm truly excited. Especially when we start to do the panel shows, the guest panel shows, where we have different people on there to discuss what they're doing. We're going to also be dealing with individuals that we're going to be reaching out to different people that's on the Brew Link, different businesses on there. So if you all have a business, we're going to interview you. We want people to, especially if you're able to do something globally or internationally. For instance, I did speak with one of our subscribers yesterday, and what she's able to do is she's able to make things for weddings. She makes all of the decors. You know how you got all your wedding party has the bouquets, the flowers and stuff like that. You know, you make them out of silk and you can keep them, you know, because real flowers, they die, but she can make those things. So we're going to be sharing with you who that is and what they do, and just really helping businesses that are within the spiritual community get going, you know, and that's what this is going to be about. So we're going to interview those individuals so to make sure that you can get off the ground and stuff like that. That's what we're going to be doing. This is going to be great. I am so excited about the platform and where it's going. And again, it would not be possible. It would not be possible if you all through Patreon did not make this happen. So again, my hats are off to you. I'm very grateful for your monthly contributions. And it's going to help us take this gospel to the four corners of the earth. Now, before I'm going to jump over into the chat room and see what is being put out over here. Reach out to a couple of businesses on the Brew Link. Yes. No return calls. We got to do better. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to thank you, Rodney. If you let me know who they are, I'm going to deal with that because we're going to make that better. Charles Marshall, I am very interested in the feast days. I'm sharing with my family and need to stream. Let me see here. Need to stream your services. We do not have a group to fellowship with since leaving California. Where are you, Charles? Let me know where you are. But yes, one of the things coming out of the conference, the ground survey, was we talked to a lot of people. We asked people, what would you like to see us bring? What teachings would you like to see us bring? And everybody was like, feast days, feast days. I mean, there were some other things that I dealt with right there and then. But let me tell you, everybody, and I'm so happy about that because I don't know if I'm doing it so much that it's making people bored. But a lot of people says, no, we feel like that sometimes you're rushing and we feel like that you feel rushed. But Pastor, they said, we have to know this. We need to know how. And we got into not so much as the how, that'll come later, but the what and the why. What do they mean? And why do we do them? So yes. So Charles, let me know where you are. You're in Little Rock, Arkansas. Wow. So Charles, I am seeking the new set apart Hebrew way of life. So Charles, this is what you're going to do. I am going to be going to New Jersey immediately after the Passover. You get a group up there in Arkansas, and I will fly to Arkansas, and we will spend a Sabbath with you all. So get that together. Give me your my email is bethelhouseofgod@gmail. Okay, and you got the number on there. When I respond back to you, you get the 800 number, and we'll talk. J. Rob says you are the best. J. Rob, thank you for serving us, my brother. Thank you for serving us. This guy here is on the front line when you all are asleep. He's on the front line, so we thank him for that. Shalom and bless your day. Please send all notifications. Okay, I'll do that. But don't forget to send that to me in an email. Okay, I got you, Brother Chucky, but Brother Charles Marshall. But please send that to me in an email, and I'll try to go back and pull this up as well. Let me see here. Pastor, keep at least one hand on that steering wheel. Yes, I will. I'm doing that right. That's true, kingdom work, brother pastor. Yes. What is the donation website? So the donation website is Patreon. It's www.patreon. That's Patreon. Patreon is a social media site that's been out for a while. Basically, what they do is they are a mid user between me and you. That's what they are. So basically, what you can do is you go through their platform. When you make a pledge, I'm under Pastor Johnson. So when you go to patreon.com, that's www.patreon, and it's called patreon.com. Then you look for me, and it's Pastor Johnson, all one word. And there, the site is sort of like a PayPal, and it uses a security. You'll see all of the VeriSigns, where all of your information is protected and stuff like that. And if you decide that you don't want to be a Patreon anymore, you can simply go on, pull it off. So they are the mid person between you and I. So they charge a very, very small fee to do that. It's not on your end, it's on my end. So let's say you decide to do $10 a month. They may say, okay, Pastor Johnson, that we're charging 42 cents for that. So the $9 and 60 some cents will come to me out of the $10. So that's how that works. Um, so try that out. Thank you very much for that, Veronica. I can't wait to move back to South Florida. I'm looking at the beautiful scenery behind you. Well, it's 79 degrees today, and I'm just circling around my neighborhood because I don't want to hang up. Um, Lion Pride, I think Lion Pride. No, who's from Benaya Shiril? Benaya Shiril. That's who's from London. Wow. So once again, thank you all. Thank you for again making this possible. Um, and what we do is we try to um, keep this thing going and rolling and rolling and rolling, and to just bring you all of the best information, and to just make it a channel that's going to be productive for the mind. Because I'm very big on the mind being transformed by the word, but also the channel needs to have substance where we bringing you individuals. There's a young lady that has a testimony. I'm going to be talking to her. She was raped by her school teacher. Um, it was a substitute teacher, and she wants to come on. She's going to share her testimony. She carried a child from that incident. She has been able to gradually move on. The individual lost their school license, but there were no criminal charges filed. She will explain why. But the main thing is, it was a little trauma for her, but she wants to share her testimony in how she continued to just move on in life. As difficult as it was, she was able to continue on in life, and is still continuing on today. And so we've chatted a couple times, and she wants to come on and share that testimony. And so that's where we are. John Williams, how you doing, Brother John? 2 Corinthians 2:5, casting down the imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. Oh, great. John, I hope everything is well with you, my brother. So that's where we are. J. Rob, it's so good to see you and hear you on the channel. It really is. So we miss conversing with you, my brother, and we're so glad that you're here. I did get your email, and we will be reaching out to you. Peace to everybody. We'll talk soon. And again, thank you so much for what you do to help us get this gospel out into the four corners of the earth. Don't forget our email address, bethelhouseofgod@gmail.com. The 1-800 number is 1-833, the number 4, and then you just touched on in the word Bethel. So that's 1-833